Boom, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Life as a YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. So on the same trajectory as my most recent video, going over Andrew Tate's discussion with Twitch, I think, streamer XQC, and going over how that went down and really just comparing the two worldviews. XQC really had the mindset of modernity, whereas Andrew Tate had the mindset of, I would say, more traditional, red pill. Either way, totally rejecting modernism. And he had a ton of great points. I don't know if I mentioned this point in the previous video, but one thing that he said that I haven't even thought of myself is, you see all of these people talking about the way it is now, modernism, the way it is now is just so much better. And Andrew Tate quite intelligently pointed out that this is a brand new phenomenon. It's been the way it's been for thousands of years. We still don't know the long-term ramifications of new think. And we're about to, I think we have already started to see a few of them, or the beginning stages of a few of them. But he's right. We haven't seen one way or the other the consequences, good or bad, all the way out. And I think we will really start to see them here in the next 20 years. But I thought that was interesting because his main point was that it's unproven. That was his point, is that it's unproven. And so to sit there and act like this is some proven commodity that has worked time and time again, despite the data overwhelmingly stating otherwise, but due to your group think, you believe it so. Due to your mental conditioning, you think it's so. You believe that it is how it is, and it has always been so. So anyway, so I watched another video with Andrew Tate. This guy is a fucking baller, man. He is so fucking entertaining to watch. The dude has courage. He has balls. And, I am in, and I have been this way since I was probably 15 or 16 years old. He has a mindset. Now he's been able to execute in real life, and he's 35 or however old he is. And ultimately the picture that we see of him now is not what he's always been. The guy who is the mob boss, Michael Finazzi, always says it took me 35 years to become an overnight success. Okay. So that's where he is now, Andrew Tate. But I am right there with him. I've thought this way for a long time. And this guy, what stands out to me more is how not only is he okay taking the heat, he likes it. He takes it on the chin and says, please, is that the most you got? Give me some more here. Let's go. And I think that is such a fucking pimp mindset to have. Such a warrior type mindset to have. So we're going to watch a little bit of this interview that he did. I'll find her name when I transition over here. But without further ado, let's get into this. So it's Chian. And what you guys are going to find very quickly, if you decide to go back and watch this all the way through, is two things. Number one, Chian is shit testing, as Rollo Tomassi would say, Andrew Tate all the way through. Not even for a moment does she stop shit testing Andrew Tate. And he just continuously sits there and takes the fire, takes the heat, because that's really what it is the chick seeing how much you, and it's kind of a survival tactic. They're seeing how much pressure you are willing to take just from measly old her, so they can gauge what you're willing to take around you, the shit that you are willing to take or not take around you. So she is shit testing Andrew Tate all the way through. The other thing that is just immediately evident from the get-go, and by the way, guys, I'm not going to play a ton of footage from this because, you know, this is a highly watched clip and I guarantee I'll get copyrighted. But from the get-go, Chian tries to convince Andrew Tate of her mindset, of her woman think, in the way that it would benefit him more because it would somehow be nicer or better to the woman. And it's like, Chian, this is a guy who has chicks all around him. In what world do you think you're qualified to give that advice to him? Now, I could see some dork on the side who you know, has only been with 2 chicks in his entire life. But a guy like Andrew, to me, it just showed the audacity, the arrogance of a chick like this, that she is willing to sit there and not only disagree, but tell Andrew what the actual answer is regarding his outlook on intersexual dynamics. Okay. Now, also, she is very attractive. She, you know, some of you guys out here are surprised when attractive chicks are narcissistic and bitchy and rude. It's like, dude, these girls have had everything and anything they've wanted whenever they want from 15 years old. I don't know if you remember when you were in high school, but did you ever notice chicks when you were 16, 17 years old that started to change from when you knew them when they were 12 or 13 years old? It's because they started to get everything that they wanted based off of their looks. I was going to point out a third thing, but we're just going to watch a little bit of this and we're going to dive in. Here we go.
Is haram. And they know it inside of their souls, inside of their hearts.
I don't think so.
Yes, they do. As does a man. No. Whereas a man, if he sleeps with a bunch of chicks, doesn't matter. Who cares?
So would you be with me if I'd slept with over 50 men?
40 years old. Maybe.
No. Actually, the answer is probably yes. He would be with you for a one-nighter or as a booty call, but as a serious contender, probably not. And, you know, Andrew Tate basically says, you know, the reason he basically says, even you know that it's bullshit that women can sleep around with tons of guys, because what is the one thing that chicks call other chicks when they're trying to get under their skin? They call them whores immediately, because they know that that is the most true, you know, knifing attack that they could give to any chick.
Maybe. Even today, nobody respects it, deep down. When a girl shoots a girl she doesn't like, you know the first thing she does? She says she's a... You know why? Because they know deep down that female promiscuity is disgusting, it's revolting. So the whole...
It's disgusting, it's revolting. This guy is hilarious, dude. Absolutely fucking hilarious. And he's right, it is. Any guy who's honest will say the exact same thing. You know, I remember the first moment I realized the body count, you know, just off of the actual body count, but then you take into account all the other chicks that the other guys have been with and the other guys that they've been with. And you start thinking to yourself, man, this is a gross, nasty ass, icky, gooey womb. It is foul. You know, sometimes you just got to take what you can get, but yeah, it's gross. And any chick who says it's the same and that women do it for the same reasons, it's total nonsense. Women don't even want to do that in the first place. they don't care to sleep around because they don't have the testosterone. They're not even wired to do that. They don't have the testosterone level that men have. So some guys out here actually convince themselves that girls want to have sex with as many guys as guys want to have with girls. It's total buffoonery, total nonsense.
The whole idea of a female wanting to sleep with more than one man at a time is haram. And they know it inside of their souls, inside of their hearts.
I don't think so.
Yes, they do. As does a man.
Oh my God. He's like he's like preaching now. And they know it inside of their souls as much as they know that it's in their hearts. It's haram, as to which he will do, she will do to hither. She will cometh and he will hither. Andrew, come on, bro. You're cracking me up. Fuck.
Whereas a man, if he sleeps with a bunch of chicks, doesn't matter. Who cares?
So would you be with
You guys see the snarl he did? If a guy sleeps with a bunch of chicks, who cares? It doesn't matter.
me if I'd slept with over 50 men? I'm a high value woman, right?
I'm a high value woman, right? Right? No, not if you've been with 100 dudes. But see, chicks like this are the worst because they've been given everything. They think they know what guys go through when they have no fucking clue. And you know, a chick like this, who is what's known as an alpha woman, because in her alpha woman ways, the very things that make her that, she thinks that guys should be the same way and that she can convince them so because she's that. And it's like, no, you're an alpha woman. You're not an alpha. You're an alpha woman. Okay. And your mindset is, you know, it's why you can make it in the business world. But as far as relationships go, it doesn't work because you end up competing with the guy when instead you should be serving him. So she would be a total train wreck as a partner, a total fucking train wreck. And when you watch this interview, this is exactly who she is. It's someone who would end up going, well, you told me I couldn't do that, so I'm gonna fuck 2-3 guys anyways. And, you know, a chick like that is problematic. It's like, you know, so you're just doing this because you want to prove to me that you can? I mean, what is this, fucking second grade? Come on, Chian, come on.
You said it yourself.
How can you be high value if 50 men have slept with you?
What if I've just been single for a long time?
No, unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
He goes, how can you be a high value woman if you slept with 50 chicks or 50 guys? And she goes, well, maybe I've been single for a long time. Yeah, but exactly. The fact that you slept with a bunch of guys then while you've been single shows exactly why you wouldn't be a high value woman.
Body count is probably the #1 most easiest way to judge the value of a female. I actually think that no, I'm going to say this. I think 99% of the world's problems.
He goes, no, zip it. No. I'm going to say this right now.
And no one's going to understand this, but if you can extrapolate, if you can listen to this statement and extrapolate it out towards society at large, I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead. Because it would prevent all of the disintegration of morals. It would prevent so much.
One thing that you guys, as you're exposed to the red pill, guys, that you will find out is the advice that women give, and this is why I advise men to not be following any chick's account, because I'm telling you, any chick's advice to you as a man is total nonsense. Her world and your world are so fucking different. I can't even articulate it. It's like you grew up on Mars and she grew up on Earth. Okay. It's total separate things with total separate expectations, with total, you know, from the get-go. If any of you have had a sister, you know that even you are raised different. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that you should pout because that's the case, but it is. And I'm also saying that you should never take the advice of a chick. Only watch as she does, not as she says.
So many things about the world.
You know what? There's like a lot.
And women would be like, to be with me as a man, I don't want to put another number on my forehead. You have to be a good man. They wouldn't stop fucking these idiots and stop being idiots. And all the idiocy would disappear. All the degeneracy would disappear. Families would return.
So true. I agree with him. I really think it would fix a lot of problems. Women hate being shamed in almost every regard. I think it would. Fix a lot of problems. What you end up finding when you watch a conversation like this, and I already said the things at the beginning, you find the shit test, the constant shit test, but you also find, this, especially from alpha women, you find them trying to convince anybody and everybody of the traits that it would take for a man to have in order to fuck her, in order to be okay with fucking her many times outside of, a one-night stand. That is what they end up doing. And to me, that's just not good advice. Okay, let's watch this a little bit and then we'll wrap it up here.
That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. Not as a man if you want to be important.
So I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
He's so right. There's none of that.
Not as a man.
He goes, if
you have duties. Attract a woman like you. And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately competitive and about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men because I dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even
see. That's exactly right. Everything that they complain about and talk about is from the group of men that they bang, which is the top 1 to 5% of guys in the United States or in the world. Okay. It's not representative. It's not.
Exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to. So if you just sit here and say, I'll get a G, a big G, a boss, a millionaire, and let him have a day off, very nice of you. I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
God, that's total fucking nonsense. And it's delusional that she thinks that that's true, because the type of guy that would be okay with that, as Andrew is saying, is always in her DMs and she doesn't ever respond, ever. It's just nonsense. She's only responding to guys who would not take the day off and would not even complain about their problems to her in the fucking first place.
But if a guy who...
That's another thing, fellas. Never complain to your woman. Never. Because number one, they don't give a fuck. And number two, even if they pretend to give a fuck, they will always end up using it against you later in order to win an argument or whatever against you. And you don't want to do that.
Wanted to have days off all the time, he never would have got important enough in the first place to attract a woman like you. And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately competitive. And as a man, you have to outcompete the other men who are prepared to get up and do it anyway. That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. Not as a man if you want to be important. Maybe as a chick, you can always put more foundation on and be hot again. Great. Not as a man. If you want to be important as a man, you have shit to do. You have duties. This is how it exists. This is how it's always been.
That was the best clip of this. I'm glad that I was able to find it. He is spot on. It's on multiple levels. It's the level that a chick that she would never give the guy the thousands of guys who take many days off the fucking time of day. She's only giving the top of the top 2 seconds. It's always funny, these chicks out here acting like, they'll just do this and they'll just do that. And oh yeah, they fuck a fucking, this guy right here who, has only been with 2 chicks in his life. And it's, man, I think that is so mean that they do that, because it gives all these other guys false hope. It's a lie. It's a downright lie. And I don't think there's anything worse than that. So I'm going to fast forward to them wrapping this up. and giving their ratings on each other. Shocker, she likes him, kind of. But anyways, I'll play it and let you be the judge. Here we go.